the meaning of life. What does it mean? What what does it what do you think of when I say this? To me, the meaning of life is love. And I have many points that I could go over, but I'm just going to go over three today. You know, what love is, how does the world look without love? What makes the world go around? And how can we show love for others? There is a story in the Bible of a man who went down to Jericho, and he was robbed and beaten and left for dead. And so in this story, Jesus is talking to a Jewish expert, legal expert, trying to explain to him and show him how Samaritans, who were looked at as lesser beings, are actually not lesser than anyone else. And so he explained that a Levite walked by this man and did not help, and a Jewish priest walked by and did not help this man. And finally, a good Samaritan came by, saw the man, put him up in an inn, gave him oils and health benefits, things that could help him regain his health, and paid the innkeeper and said, please charge me if this man needs any further financial or anything else health-wise that needs to be paid for. And so this showed the Jewish legal expert that even though this man did not know, the Good Samaritan did not know this man, and he was left for dead, the Good Samaritan was able to show his love for a complete stranger. How would the world look without love? Well, we know that without love, and there's been times when the world has been a very dark and bleak place, and it doesn't seem like there's love, but we do know that the world without love would be very chaotic. It would be very cruel and dark and dim. And so there was a picture painted by Raphael in 1520 called the Transfiguration, and it shows the disconnect between man and Jesus, and how without Jesus the world would be very dark, it'd be very chaotic. Men would be only lovers of themselves. They wouldn't help their neighbors. They wouldn't show love and kindness to anyone else without Jesus. And so it shows a depiction of how God, giving Jesus to us, gave us his love and treated us with his love. And so my final point in this presentation today is, how can we show love to others? And there's many ways for us to do this, but I'm going to speak on three: spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Spiritually, we can be there by praying for them, by giving them prayer. It can help heal them spiritually and help them grow in God and understand that, that this is how we can love our neighbor. Emotionally, we can be there as a shoulder to cry on, somebody that listens to them, somebody that can talk to them, and somebody that they can talk to if they're having a very rough time or a rough day. We can show that we love them by being there for them. And then finally, number three is physical. Physical doesn't necessarily mean going out and buying them the best gift in the whole wide world, but maybe purchasing something that they need, whether it's a bag of groceries, whether it's an item that they've really needed, like clothing or food. Even water sometimes is something that they need. And so purchasing that item for them can help them physically. Maybe even just giving somebody a hug. I've had strangers who I've prayed with hug me, and they just say, I needed this prayer, and I needed this hug. And it just shows love for others as Christ loved us. In Luke 10:27, and I'm going to read it off my note card, it states that thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. So showing love to others can also show love of self. It can show us that we can love others and give love to ourselves that way. It's in the sense that when you do good, you feel good. And it's not to give yourself a pat on the back. It's not to be like, well, look what I did. It's so that you know in your heart that you showed love to that person, you showed kindness to that person, and you gave them love. And so that's how we can do that, is being there for others and showing them love. So in conclusion, what does this mean? What does this mean to you? What does this mean to me? To me, I've explained in my points what love means to me. It makes the world go around, it makes the world a beautiful place. It's not chaotic, it's not dim, it's not cruel. People show love that way. And so when we love others, we show love to ourselves. We show love to God. And then finally being there for others and showing them Christ's love as he did for us. So in conclusion of my message, I've explained what my 3 points are as far as love and showing it to others and how the world would be. And I just want to finish with this statement, and it is from the Bible. It's been stated many times, but it's John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, and that whosoever shall believeth on him shall have everlasting life. And God gave his Son out of love. He gave his Son out of the world being the way it is and out of love. So we can show love to others by being selfless. And that's what the meaning of life to me is love.